What's going on, Nerd Army? It's time once again, guys, for another Nerd Logic podcast. So this time I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Knight. So, Anthony Knight, tell us about your channel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, for those of you that don't know, I'm Anthony Knight. What's happening, Nerd Army? Fellow Night Riders, if you're listening and watching this. Well, basically, my channel is mainly reactions, but I'm trying to get back to doing some reviews. Basically, reviews about new news that come out, new promotional pictures that was released. I do Dragon Ball Super reviews. I'm going to try to start doing more movie reviews. And I have a versus challenge, which I do my best to put out every 2 weeks. The last one was actually Hulk versus Superman, and the next one is going to be Ultron versus Brainiac. And I can't wait to see how people. I can't wait to see what people have to say about that.
Well, going back into that more, I mean, your versus challenges are actually really cool. If you guys have followed them, I've actually participated in every one of them. There's something really cool to interact with you, and you can be part of it, and that's a really cool concept out here on YouTube. Really makes the community grow more.
Yes, definitely does.
Yeah, I mean,
in case your Nerd Army doesn't fully know about it, it's a compilation voters takes all series where basically I have fans and fellow YouTubers. They can either just vote of who they think would win, or they can participate and be featured in the actual episode and make a video and basically discuss who they think would win and why, or whatever it is that they want to say.
It is. If you have time and you want to be part of it, just message Anthony directly on his channel. I'll have everything linked down in the description down below. But definitely participate in it, guys. It is an awesome series that he does.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cool, and I love how interactive it is. That's one of my favorite parts of it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anthony does a bunch of awesome reactions. The Dragon Ball Z reviews, those are actually going to be pretty cool. Do you have anything planned for the future besides those as of right now?
I am thinking about doing more TV show reviews. At a point in time, I did want to do reactions, but there's like a whole issue with that going on in the YouTube world. So I'm just going to stick to like TV show reviews. I'll probably start come the winter when new shows come about. Seeing the fact that Flash and Arrow already like almost at their midway point, I don't want to start midway, so I'll probably do it. Probably Legends of Tomorrow. Maybe I'll do Game of Thrones when that comes back. And probably Teen Wolf. Maybe. I haven't fully figured that part out yet.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of you guys that don't make videos and don't run YouTube channels like us two, it's a lot of work. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to talk about this for 5 minutes and then, yeah, that's it. No, it takes a lot of work, editing, inputting pictures, inputting video, whatever it may be, effects, intros. None of that shit's easy. If you think it's easy, I challenge any person that's never done it before to take the challenge and send me an awesome looking video. And I will tell you, like, congrats if you do a great job. But if you don't, I mean, hey, just realize it does take work.
Exactly, because like you said, everybody thinks that we just sit down, turn the camera on, watch it, and then turn the camera right off. And no, you got to give your input. You got to make it unique. You got to basically talk about how you felt about the video or whatever it is that you're watching. And then you got to go through the whole editing process, and you got to make sure what you say, what you actually react to, the special effects, the intros, the outros. And then it also all depends on how fast or slow your computer is. It will determine how long the editing process takes. And then you got to worry about the quality of the video. So it's a lot.
I mean, it adds up. It really does. And for those of you guys that don't know, I actually started a second YouTube channel to focus mainly on my love of comic books. And it's basically everything, all the content that's going to be on that channel, it's called Comic Brainstorm, is just going to be comic book content. So I'm going to do recap and reviews. I'm going to do my history ofs are going to kind of move over to that channel. I'll do one or two here or there on my Nerds Mirage channel and plug in my old channel, my new channel, just to give it a little run. But the recaps and reviews are a lot of fun. It's something I really have enjoyed doing. Holy shit, it takes 10 times longer to edit everything doing those because I've got to voice everything over after I script it. And then sit there and put every single panel and pan and zoom every single panel. I'm like, holy shit, it takes forever to render.
I can imagine. That's like prime example with my Versus Challenge. My Versus Challenge takes me the longest to actually put together, even longer than actual reaction videos. Yep. Because you gotta do the voiceover. You have to put in the pictures, which pictures you want to use, what video you want to use, and mute that video so I could talk over it. And then just put everything together and then put all the compilation videos together. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And also another thing I'm doing on my channel that I forgot about. I started doing gameplay.
Oh yeah.
I've mainly just been doing Batman Arkham Knight gameplay, but I'm gonna start doing more. I'm not sure which game I'm gonna get to yet, but I want to get through the main storyline of Batman Arkham Knight first. And I think I'm like halfway done.
It's an epic game. I really enjoyed Batman Arkham Knight. I love the shit out of that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. Definitely.
Isn't the Batmobile fucking bitchin'?
I love that Batmobile. That has to be my favorite Batmobile ever. I love it.
I just love being able to you get the Batmobile, drive as fast as you can, and then just fly out the top.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So with Arkham Knight, you beat the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the Nerd Army or the Night Riders that are listening, this is going to be spoiler territory. So fast forward the next few seconds. But I am basically up to the part where Batman tried to rescue Oracle, and she shot her brains out.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm up to.
Okay.
So when I see, my jaw hit the floor when that happened. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, no, they didn't.
No. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up when that part happened. I'm like, what? I was like, hold on. Let me pause this shit real quick. Let me soak this in. Because this shit just got real.
Yes, it did.
I was like, okay, you Batmobile, you're on the sideline. This bitch just blew her head off. Now, see, that's something I still haven't really got into doing yet, is the gameplay. That was something I always wanted to do eventually. But, I mean, I started a Twitch account and everything, and then I just never got around to live streaming. And, yeah, I've thought about it a bunch of times, but I've got so much other shit going on, I don't have time for it. But
yes,
no,
you do.
I did tune into your gameplays and watched a couple of them, and they're actually really cool.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I was using Twitch as well. That's how I started recording everything.
Okay, are you streaming off your Xbox, off the Xbox One?
Yeah, streaming directly off the Xbox.
Okay.
The only thing that I wish I had the Connect part so that I could record myself and show myself.
And show yourself in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. But as of right now, I just do the voice overlay so people can hear me. I just recently learned how to keep the chat open as I play. So the last video that I put out, I had the chat open, so I was chatting with a couple of people.
Oh, there you go.
That's pretty cool. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, and I wanted to say too, man, as of recently, man, you blew up in subscribers.
I did. I noticed that. I was like, where the hell did this come from? But to be honest, I think it actually came from my reactions to doing Ruby, that web series Ruby. I think that's my most watched videos. Every time I put out reactions, that the Ruby videos are the ones that get watched the most. That's where I get most of my views from. People love Ruby.
Yeah, I haven't watched him yet. My cousin told me I should react to him. because he says those things are fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I've seen tons of reactors doing them too, and I'm like,
yeah, people love them and especially like it blew up even more once the girl was in Death Battle, Yang. She's part of Ruby. So when people got introduced to Ruby off of Death Battle, a lot of reactors jumped on it to find out more about Yang or the show itself. And, you know, most of their subscribers, well, my subscribers was telling me that I should watch it, so I started watching it. And I will admit, it's epic. I mean, not every episode is a fighting episode, but it's still pretty epic. Like, the actual fights are very, very epic. So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll check it out, definitely, because my cousin was telling me that it's like, he was describing it to me, and I'm like, really? Oh, okay. I was like, because for a while there, like, all I was doing was reactions. I wasn't ever doing anything else for a while. So I felt I needed to tone it down and stop with so many reactions. So I just did, like, once a week, I'd do, like, 3 or 4 reactions. Yeah. And then I got to the point where I was like, I'm kind of missing it. And then I started thinking about wanting to do comic book stuff. I'm like, holy crap, that's another thing on the channel. I'm going to have to start another channel. And then, so now I'm trying to get back more into a lot of the reactions. I did the character voice comparisons. Those are always fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
I did.
Start getting back into those, too.
Yeah, I did Green Goblin and Bane yesterday, and there were some badass Bane voices. I was like, fuck yeah. But, no, I mean, aside from that, yeah, guys, so all of the channels we have talked about will be linked in the description below. But definitely make sure you check out Anthony's channel because he does a lot of cool stuff. And if you want to participate, remember, hit him up and you can participate in the next
anybody
fight.
Can put in it. Anybody.
With Brainiac versus Ultron.
Yes.
Whoo, I'm going to do my video on that shit tonight. But, no, so next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is we're going to talk about Star Wars. Yes.
Yes.
The Force Awakens comes out on the 18th of December, which is a little over 3 weeks away right now.
Cannot wait.
Whew, man, I did not think I would see another Star Wars in my lifetime.
Exactly.
See, now, a lot of people okay, before anyone blows up in the comment section at all, guys, I'm sorry in advance. I'm not a fan of the prequels.
Uh-huh.
There are aspects of the prequels I like. Like, in the first one, it's, the 2 people that died are the people that I like. Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul. I was like, don't get me wrong. Ewan McGregor is a boss as Obi-Wan.
Yes, he is.
Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul made that whole movie?
Yes, they did.
Fuck. I mean, the pod racing was all right. But I'm not going to lie. Those are the 2 people I loved in that movie, and they kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul, but still.
I
mean, the second movie was cool.
Huh?
But the second movie was really cool, too. I did like parts of the second movie. Episode 2 was kind of cool. The big fight scenes were always epic.
Always.
And the only thing I didn't understand is Yoda in the second one. Episode 2, Yoda, crippled ass puppet, gets all badass and flips and shits, and then goes back to a cane. Then goes back to a cane. I'm like, this motherfucker, you fronting for something. We all already saw that you're a badass. Stop playing.
Exactly. You don't need that cane.
Put that shit down. You just did like a quadruple front flip and a spin kick. Yeah, put that shit down, motherfucker.
Exactly.
No, I mean, and then the third one, I just couldn't take Mannequin Skywalker. I'm sorry. Like, there was parts of it I loved. I thought the scene where he gets, like, his ass beat by Obi-Wan at the end was awesome.
Yeah. That whole fight scene, I think, was my favorite part out of the third movie.
Hell, it was actually really, really awesome. Jumping over the lava and shit. And that was awesome.
That was definitely awesome.
But the one thing about that scene that I can't stand is Mannequin Skywalker and his same expression as he had when he was like into Padme. He's going, no! He's just like, man, it reminded me of Jabba the Hutt dying. All right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he's overacting and he can't act. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, don't hate me. That is how it is. That is how I feel. My favorite of all the Star Wars movies is going to be Empire. Empire Strikes Back has always been my favorite.
Uh,
Return of the
that was a
Jedi is
very
awesome
interesting.
too, but Empire. Like,
This is true.
well, what's your favorite of all the Star Wars movies?
Oh wow! Out of all of them, I would have to say it's a tie between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Because Empire, granted, Empire Strikes Back did kind of set up Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
but it still had like a lot of epic moments, and it really showed you how dark everything was, from just the Empire ruling everything to how badass of a villain Vader actually was, to, you know, even though Luke was learning the Force, like they showed you a little bit of that. But in regards to Return of the Jedi, I don't know, it's just something about that whole scene where Luke fought against Vader, and then when he finally went up against the Emperor and he was just there getting electrocuted, the Emperor was just electrocuting the shit out of him, and then, like, even though it was a little cheesy that Vader saved him, but I understand why he did it.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just something about it. But you ever notice, and I noticed this after I watched the last prequel, um, the ghostly figure of Darth Vader at the ending of Return of the Jedi looks so scary. So he looks so scary, not scary, but he looks so similar to how Anakin looked in the third movie. Now I don't know if they purposely made
they did
the actor look like that.
No, so what happened in that point? What actually happened there in 2001? Every print after 2001 was printed with Hayden Christensen in the final scene of Episode 6.
That's okay.
So you cannot find a print of it unless it's made before 2001.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, because I was sitting there and I was just watching. I was like,
how the hell
looks
they know
so
what he look like?
But now that you mention it like that, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, they tied it all together.
All right, they think they slick.
Yeah. See, I still own a VHS box set of the original printed that I got 90s. So that shit is like doesn't have Mannequin Skywalker in it.
Nice. Okay.
But you know the problem? I don't fucking own a VCR anymore. So it makes no damn difference. I'm like, someone's gotta burn these to DVD for me. I was like,
yeah.
I need this in my life. If I lose a mannequin-free freaking Return of the Jedi, I'm gonna stab somebody. No,
I understand.
I mean, with the new movie, it's got so many awesome trailers that are out. Do you feel that there's too many trailers, that we just keep getting more and more, and they're gonna ruin shit?
See, for a while, when it comes to certain movies, I feel like that. But in regards to Star Wars, the main reason that I don't feel like that is because they're still hiding a lot of information from you. Like, no matter what trailer you look at, there's only one scene of Luke Skywalker, and that's the scene where he's right next to R2-D2, and he puts his metal hand on him. You never see his face.
Yep. Not posters, nothing.
Exactly. Not in no promotional pictures, posters, nothing. They are keeping Luke Skywalker completely under wraps. So
it's got me a little worried. Is he gonna go dark side? What's going on?
I don't know. That seems to be the theory that's been flowing around. Everybody thinks that he's gonna end up going over to the dark side.
I don't know. I mean, you never know. They might uncover him and he looks like Palpatine.
He might.
Yeah. Oh shit.
He might. I don't know, but I think that they're doing a good job at promoting Star Wars. Yeah. Especially now that Disney owns it. Yeah, it's everywhere.
See, and now I'm super stoked for this. This movie looks freaking amazing to me. Every trailer has been epic.
sir.
Oh my god, they've only gotten better. The international trailer is the shit. The international trailer is so good. When you see the freaking lightsaber, Kylo Ren dropped the lightsaber like right over Rey's shoulder.
Yes, I couldn't believe that.
I was like, he's gonna cut that bitch's head off. What is going on?
Exactly. I was like, what?
I was like, if she gets away, it's gonna be like Glenn getting away on The Walking Dead. All right.
And you know what's funny? As big of an uproar as everyone thinking that Glenn died, it's almost as big as an uproar as him still being alive.
Yep.
Like, I've seen people who are thrilled about it, but I've seen people who are like, I can't believe that he's still alive. And I'm like, huh? Like, wasn't you just upset that he died? And it's crazy because I don't know if you've seen it, but have you seen the mashup that Adik the One did of people's reaction to Glenn's death?
To Glenn dying? Yeah.
I couldn't believe some people's reactions. People started crying. And I mean, like, literally, like, their eyes was watering. You could hear them whimpering. And I'm like, holy shit.
Did you ever see, there was this one guy, he wasn't in the mashup though, but I saw his video on, it was like, it had like 50,000 hits. It was like a pretty big one. And it was his reaction to Glenn dying. And it's this like clean cut little Asian kid, and he's watching it and he just starts freaking out and he runs over to his wall and he's tearing all the pictures of Glenn off his wall and he takes it into his shower and he throws that shit in the shower and he's turning the shower on.
Oh, I gotta look for that. I didn't see that.
Dude, this kid like I think it's called like the worst reaction to Glenn dying. But no, when that shit happened, I told everyone Glenn is not dead.
You did. I saw that video that you
proof
made.
that Glenn is alive video. Yeah, I got so many like nasty comments on that that I was like, they're all, you're fucking stupid. If Glenn's alive, it's gonna ruin the show. It's not realistic. And I'm like, dude, Glenn's
like,
alive.
Really think about it.
So what I did is I went back after we saw that his ass was alive. While I was watching it, I was live tweeting, saying, haha, motherfuckers. And then I went on there and I went to my comments and I'm like, all you motherfuckers that were talking shit,
yep.
Glenn's alive.
Yep, I'd have did the same thing. I would have did the same
I think I put like 10 different Glenn's alive, bitch, on the comment.
I'd have did that too.
Oh, and then I text my cousin, like the second I saw that was going on, because she's a huge Walking Dead fan. And she was so hoping that Glenn was going to get killed by Negan like he does in the comics.
Uh-huh.
And I text her and I'm like, hey, guess what? Glenn's alive. And she's like, fuck you, Andrew. Fuck you. And like we had a big old argument like right after it happened about why he's alive. And she's like, no, it's going to ruin the show if he's alive. Well, guess what? He's alive. Sorry.
I mean, it is what it is. To be honest, I feel like what they did kind of make sense because because pretty much everybody guessed it who thought he was still alive. I forgot the guy's name, but he fell on top of Glenn. They ripped his guts out, and he crawled underneath the dumpster and just pretty much stabbed any walker that was trying to get underneath the dumpster, which pretty much blocked any other walkers from getting there, and he just waited them out. So, I mean, it makes sense to an extent. I get it.
Yeah. Oh, no, and I was pretty stoked about it because I was like, holy shit, finally something I put on YouTube is correct. Something that I speculated on was right. No, just for instance, we had that big rumor that guy El Maimbe released today on the internet that he released saying that Peter Quill's father, a Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, is going to be Captain Marvel instead of Jason, like his dad in the comics. And I'm like, hey, that would be cool. It'd be an easy way to tie Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel together.
That's true.
And bring her into the mainstream media instead of just dropping her in. Oh, look, here's an origin story. Have a good day.
Exactly.
That's basically what's going to happen because they already said, Kevin Feige already said that they're not going to have her in any other video fully like done up.
Okay.
Because of the fact that they don't want to do that and then go back and do an origin story. They're going to just wait, and she's going to be talked about, but not going to appear. And then they're going to do her origin. It's all confusing how they're doing that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all, it still sounds like a really cool concept. It's going to be cool. We're going to get his dad in the comics. It sounds like James Gunn was the one who disproved that shit like right after I put the video out. I'm like, thank you, James Gunn, fucking asshole. I was like, you disproved me as soon as I post that shit.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why for a long time I stopped doing like the nerd news stuff, because half the time they'd say it was confirmed and none of that shit was confirmed. I was just tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
but now I feel I got gaps on my channel because I have my other channel I'm focusing on so much. But I'll get back into the podcast.
No problem.
All right, so next thing I want to talk about is, let's talk about the new DC's Legends of Tomorrow trailer.
Yes, let's definitely talk about this trailer. Oh my god.
Yeah, I recorded my reaction earlier. I'll probably upload that shit tomorrow, but I was dying.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see your reaction to that.
Like, I flew up out my chair. I was like, holy shit.
Exactly.
My wife.
I was like, what?
My wife came, like, right after I finished. She comes out of the room. She's like, what happened? I'm all, you got to watch this.
Yes.
And she's like, what happened? Just tell me. I'm like, you know what, motherfucker? Watch it.
That's it. Just watch it.
And then she's like, it was good. It wasn't great. I'm going to get out of here. Don't talk to me. I'm going to go sleep on the couch. No. But what was your favorite part of that?
My favorite part... Okay. I have two. My favorite verbal part was the mention of Batman and Superman, which some people didn't catch.
Oh, my God.
But I caught it immediately.
Yes.
I practically lost my... Like, I had to put my hand over my mouth.
Yep.
To not scream or wild out so I wouldn't miss the actual trailer itself. But after I finished giving my reaction and I started actually talking about it on camera, I started going crazy. And I even had to go back and make sure that what the actual statement was. So for any Nerds Army or any Night Riders that didn't catch it, he said, I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall. Yeah. That's all he had to say to get me to lose my shit.
What?
That is it.
What? So they just confirmed that Superman and Batman exist in that universe.
Exactly. That's why I lost my shit.
Now, and I think if we'll ever see them, I doubt it. But
yeah, I highly doubt we'll see them, but it doesn't even make a difference.
You know what they should do? Just bring back Tom Welling from Smallville. Let him be Superman.
I am going to tell you right now, if Tom Welling steps foot on either DC's Legends of Tomorrow's, Arrow, or Flash, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Because I loved Smallville was my favorite Superman. Show. Smallville was my absolute favorite show. I watched it. I mean, when I first started watching it, I got into it like, I think Smallville's second season. Yeah. So I caught up.
That's when it picked up. It was slow for the first season.
Yeah, the first season was slow, but I literally watched every single episode for 10 years. Well, for the 10 years that it was on.
Yep.
And that was my absolute favorite show. Like, anytime somebody would argue with me about a show, I would just tell them, like, yo, listen, if your show hasn't been on for 10 seasons, don't argue with me. Smallville, shit.
All right. Okay, fine. Since you're a Smallville fan, let's ask you this.
Yes.
Lana, Chloe, or Lois?
Interesting. Okay. As the characters go, first getting into Smallville, to be honest, I actually hated Chloe.
Really?
In the beginning? Yeah, I don't know why, but just in the beginning, I didn't like the character. She ended up growing on me, and then I liked her as a character. She was, like, especially like towards the end, she became one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Lana, to be honest with you, Lana was the main reason that, the second reason I started watching Smallville, because I started watching it because I found out it was a origin kind of story of Superman. Mm-hmm. Since I'm a huge Superman fan, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch this. And the actress that played Lana, for a while, I used to have a crush on her. So I was like, you know what? I love Lana. But then when Lois came on, I was like, damn.
Damn.
I was like, damn. I don't know. I was sitting. There was plenty of days I was just sitting there. I was like, yo, Clark, I feel for you. I wouldn't be able to choose between the two either.
Man, I've been walking around with a heart on all the time. No, I was always a huge, like, Chloe was my shit. Like,
oh, yeah.
All over my computer was pictures of Chloe. Like, you turn on my computer, it's just like a slideshow of Chloe and Jennifer Love Hewitt every once in a while. I had to cycle her in because she was hot. But no, nice. Chloe was my shit. Especially when later seasons, when Chloe got into the Watchtower.
Exactly. And that's when she ended up becoming one of my favorite characters. Because she changed so much from the beginning to that point and beyond.
Now, one person in that show, to be honest, like, a lot of people love this dude, but I hated him. I could not stand Pete.
Yeah, Pete got on my nerves.
He got on my damn nerves all the time.
After a while, he definitely started getting on my nerves.
It's like, dude, just shut your mouth and just chill.
Exactly. Just relax. Stop doing certain things and you won't get beat up every episode.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I give it to the actress who played Chloe, she's the reason that Chloe is now a comic book character. Because that character wasn't always in the comics. And I forgot what season they finally put her in the comics, but because of her, they made it look like her and act just like her. Like, they took her portrayal of Chloe and put her in the comic. I was like, yo, that's great for her now, as an actress.
Did you ever read any of the Smallville season 11 comics?
Not all of them. I read some of them, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever that one of the very first things that they did for season 11 of Smallville was put Batman in it.
Yep.
I thought that was freaking hilarious.
It's like, damn it, man, we introduced every other member of the Justice League and Society. Might as well put Batman in it.
Might as well, because right after Batman, I think Wonder Woman came on.
Yep.
Came in comics. So
yeah,
I was like, all right.
That was always a cool storyline just because I love Smallville. Smallville was awesome.
Yes, definitely.
But looking at the Legends of Tomorrow trailer, I think this has the potential to surpass all of the shows.
I agree with you. 100%.
I mean, especially with the eclectic cast, it's crazy.
Yeah, they definitely have a good cast. So, okay, my question with DC Legends of Tomorrow, because one of my subscribers, one of the Night Riders, actually, they was arguing with, like, because you know how sometimes subscribers argue amongst each other.
Yep.
So I was reading the comments, and one of them mentioned or put the idea in my head, because I honestly didn't even think about this. They were wondering, is DC Legends of Tomorrow going to be just on TV while Arrow and Flash are on winter breaks, kind of like what they did with Agent Carter and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Or is DC Legends of Tomorrow going to be its own full-blown show, but just starting in the winter season?
I think the way they're doing it is they're doing it as a full-blown show.
Okay.
But you know how, like, Arrow and Flash are like 20-something episodes?
Yeah.
They're going to knock this one, I think, in like 13 or 14.
Okay.
So they're going to end about the same time.
Okay. So it's going to be like kind of like what Game of Thrones does. How Game of Thrones don't start until like, what, I think like March?
Yeah.
It goes for like 12, 13 episodes and then that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still cool with that.
Heck yeah. I mean, it's cool because, I mean, well-established shows like The Flash is the shit. I love The Flash.
Yeah, I love The Flash.
I mean, if I had to choose, I mean, Arrow's amazing too, but The Flash is just consistently amazing.
Exactly. Like
Arrow has its ups and downs.
Arrow is up and down, and it has its moments and it has its episodes. But The Flash, like, it's like almost every episode is epic, and they have such epic episodes. It's almost like every other episode is like a mid-season finale kind of episode. It's Especially that episode with Zoom.
Oh yeah, that shit was fucked up. Barry got beat the hell down.
Yes, it did. Like,
Now,
I watched it and I was like, Reverse Flash who? All I
yeah.
know is Zoom right now.
Now, what I'm thinking, because Zoom is such a badass, I'm thinking the way it's going to end up, because Wally West is getting introduced this season.
Yes, he is. He's coming, I think they said either right before the mid-season break or right after the mid-season break.
I think he's coming right before the mid-season break. I'm pretty sure, like, what I hope happens, I'm not saying it's going to happen, so this ain't a spoiler, but what I think is going to happen with Wally West is they're going to introduce him, couple episodes into it, have him be like all buddy-buddy with Barry in the lab and everything, and have an accident.
That would be very interesting.
And then the two speedsters take on Zoom.
That would be interesting. Now, speaking of that, I'm going to give my thoughts on that in a second. Do you think that Jay Garrick is going to get his speed back and help out Barry?
Yes. I think because of the way that they've talked about it, Greg Berlanti's talked about it, the showrunner. He has said that the heroes are going to do the same kind of thing they do in Flash Rebirth, where you can transfer your speed onto other people.
Okay.
Like, you can either willingly give your speed, or a Reverse Flash can take your speed.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what happened with Jay.
Okay.
Is he took his speed, but he can give his speed to whoever he wants. So I'm thinking what will happen is maybe Jay Garrick will get his back, and Wally West might have his, and they both give their speed to Barry to have him smash on Zoom.
That would be so very interesting.
It would. I mean, it's getting into the confusing realm because the Speed Force gets really freaking confusing.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
But it's also really cool. I mean, I hope if they just maybe have Stein explain it like he did last time with the whole multiverse thing.
Exactly.
If he's not back in the 70s by then.
True.
Which we've seen Legends of Tomorrow's going in 1975.
Yes, they are. Another thing with the trailer that I like, I love the fact that they gave Firestorm a costume.
Oh my god.
Because it's so similar to how the costume actually looks in the comics.
All we need is the headpiece. That's it.
Exactly. That's it.
The shit was like on point. I saw that and I'm like, oh shit! I freaked out a little bit. I did. I freaked out just a little bit.
I don't blame you. What I think that they're going to like when it comes to Wally, I hope that they do it just like you said. I hope he comes in, do the whole intro thing, gets close with Barry, and then he ends up getting his speed. I would love to see that this season. But personally, I think that they're gonna do kind of what they did with Roy in Arrow. I think they're gonna drag out him getting his speed until somewhere in season 3.
Yeah, I mean you're probably right.
I hope that they don't, but I just have an eerie feeling that that's what they're gonna do.
See, one thing I do want from Flash though is I want some more goddamn speedsters. All right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've got Jesse Quick, Wells from Earth 2's daughter. Yeah, Wells from Earth 2's daughter is a speedster in the comics. So is Patty Spivot in the comics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, there's two different versions. The newer version of her has no powers.
Okay.
The pre-52 version of her was still a cop. She was a bike cop, and her name was Hot Pursuit, but she was a speedster.
Oh, I heard of that name before.
Yeah, it's
Hot
like
Pursuit.
all white suit with the white helmet.
Right. Okay. But I thought with Hot Pursuit, I thought that was like an alternate future Barry. So there was 2 of them.
There was 2. Hot Pursuit has been multiple people, but the Patty Spivot at one point in time took on the Hot Pursuit persona.
Interesting.
So I mean, right now, technically in the show, we have Jay Garrick, Barry, Wally West is going to be coming, Zoom. We got Jesse Quick, we've got Patty Spivot, who's been a speedster. One person I'm hoping becomes a speedster is Eddie Thawne. Remember Eddie Thawne gets, at the end
Yes.
of the season, he gets sucked into the wormhole?
I really don't think we've seen the last of Eddie. I really don't.
Well, he's definitely in 2 episodes. I saw him on IMBD,
Okay.
but they're flashbacks, I'm thinking.
Probably.
Because he's already in a new show, like a whole new show, the actor is.
Okay.
But I really want him to come back maybe like season 3 or 4 and come
Yes.
back as Cobalt Blue,
Yes.
which is another badass speedster, which, to be honest, the comic book version of Cobalt Blue looks exactly like Eddie Thawne.
Yeah, I heard that.
His
everybody
like
thought
picture
that.
of the
That's why
comic,
everybody thought he was Cobalt Blue.
he looks exactly like him. I'm like, he could be Cobalt Blue. Fuck it. I mean, that would just be cool.
Definitely.
I just want to see how many fucking speedsters can we get on one screen at once.
I have no idea. All I know is that I'm going to end up losing my mind. If that happens, I know I'm going to end up losing my mind next week with the crossover episode.
The Flare.
They're going to kill me.
Well, I want to see how, now we've gotten Hawk Girl, I want to see
Yes.
how Hawkman's introduced.
Yes, I do too.
And I want to see if Cisco can get some poontang before Hawkman's introduced.
Exactly.
Cisco,
And
he got a number. Let him run with it at least a week.
It's at least a week. Oh, and not to mention, he also got a kiss.
That is true.
He got a kiss. But I have to admit, the one thing that I really do like that they did with Hawkgirl and Hawkman is that instead of their wings being out all the time, it looks like it can be retracted and back into their bodies, and they just comes out whenever they do it willingly.
Yeah.
I actually like that instead of them just it being out all the time like the cartoon.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it can just like, I guess, go back into their body. I'm guessing, but it definitely doesn't stay out all the time.
Yeah,
at least
definitely.
based off of the Legends of Tomorrow trailer.
Yeah, it's not like the cartoons where Hawk Girl's always got her wings out all the time.
Exactly.
Her and damn Dr. Fate. Now, is that someone you ever think we're gonna see, Dr. Fate?
You know something? I thought I was gonna see Dr. Fate on Constantine before it got canceled.
When we got the helmet, I was like,
Yes. I lost my shit when I saw that helmet. I was like, yes. Because it has so much potential. You could have introduced Dr. Fate. You could have introduced Zatanna. You could have introduced a lot of Justice League Dark members
yeah.
on that show.
I mean, we could have gone Zatanna, Zatara. We could have gone Zachary Zatara, and then if we did Zachary Zatara, we could have got Red Devil. We could have gone into the Teen Titans characters.
Yes.
Now, whatever happened to that? I still haven't heard any updates since like we got confirmed we're going to get a Teen Titans TV show on TNT.
I haven't heard anything either. All I heard is that it's supposed to come out sometime next year on TNT.
I'm hoping it does. I want to see Nightwing. I want to see.
Yes.
I wonder if they're going to go
deserves
Nightwing leading them like they've been saying, or if they're going to maybe do Red Robin, do Tim Drake. But then they really got to heavily mention Batman.
Exactly. They would have to mention a lot of characters to do that. So I don't know. It should be very interesting. I don't even know who the lineup is supposed to be.
Yeah, all I've heard so far, what I heard for lineup-wise was Nightwing is what I heard.
Okay. Yeah, I heard Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing I heard because I heard the actors they were looking at for him. Like, there was like 5 of them. Nightwing, Beast Boy, Raven. I didn't hear Starfire, but I would suspect if they're doing all these characters, Starfire is probably going to be there.
Hopefully.
But she is, I mean, if they're doing it even like semi-older, her costume is like really skimpy as she gets older.
Yes, it is.
So they're going to have to change a whole lot for that one.
Yes, it is. Especially how her costume is now in the new 52. Yeah. She's practically naked.
She's got like pasties, basically.
Basically.
But, and then I also heard Terra.
Oh, I forgot all about Terra.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does that...
I actually liked her character.
That would be cool because TNT and Arrow and all... If the Teen Titans crossed over with Arrow and all them, they could have Slade Wilson as a villain.
They could, and they should definitely do that.
Hell
Because
yeah.
I love, what's his name is Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
What's his name? Manu
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah, I loved him as Slade Wilson. I would have changed a few things, but for the most part, I loved it.
Yeah, he was perfect. He was perfect
Yeah.
as Slade Wilson. But I mean, needless to say, we have a lot of really cool shows that are out right now. Now, you being such a big Superman fan, what are your thoughts on Supergirl?
To be honest, it's different. Like, you can tell that it focuses on a different audience than Flash and Arrow. But for what it is, to be honest, I actually like it. Like, I love the special effects in it. There's a few things that are different from the comics, so you gotta be able to look past it. But I actually like Supergirl. I fully believe that it has potential. Like, I think that in the beginning it's just gonna be like a whole bunch of introduction to and a bunch of like villain of the week kind of episodes.
Yeah.
And then my guess is that towards like mid-season and beyond is gonna start amping up, just kind of like what Flash did, how it was like villain of the week, and then you get to your mid-season finale where something epic happens, and then it just takes off from there.
Yeah, then it starts a whole new storyline just for that back half of the season.
Exactly. So that's what I think is going to do. And to be honest, I know some people are irritated by it, but I actually love what they're doing with Superman in the show. How they're letting you know that he's there, but they never show his face.
And I think that's there for a reason, because if you introduce Superman, you automatically are overshadowing Kara, like, instantly.
Instantly, exactly. And they didn't want to do that, which is why I also fully believe they didn't want to do any crossovers for the first season.
Yeah.
They wanted to establish the show for its own.
Because then everyone's going to sit there everyone's going to sit there waiting, okay, when the hell's the Flash going to come back? Come on.
Exactly.
Like, this bitch is slow. Bring the fastest man alive back.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I love the show. I think it's really cool. Yes, it's a very energetic, upbeat, kind of almost borderline campy kind of show, but it's not really. It's a great show, great characters. Yes. My favorite characters in this are Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I really like Kat. Like, she's a bitch, but I really like Kat's character. Like, she is a bitch and a half. I will be the first to say she is a bitch. But her character is so well built and just so well portrayed. She can be a bitch, but then she cracks open a little bit and you get a little bit of what's inside.
Exactly. Like, you see that she's like actually human.
Yeah. And then she goes stone cold bitch again. I'm like,
exactly.
Okay. I see what you did, motherfucker. I see it. But another one that I really, really like is, Hank Henshaw, the leader of the DOA, is a cyborg Superman.
Yes.
Because Hank Henshaw in the comics is a cyborg Superman. That's the name of cyborg Superman.
Yes, it is.
But in this last episode, dude looked just like freaking... He didn't even look like a cyborg Superman to me. I got Martian Manhunter vibes from this dude.
And a lot of people are saying that. They're wondering if he's truly Martian Manhunter.
That's what I'm like, dude. His name is Hank Henshaw. How can they make Hank Henshaw, the character that really is cyborg Superman, make him Martian Manhunter? I'm like, I will be okay with it because the actor is dope.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm liking it. But, I mean, he just, like, the red eyes... now, if he was Martian Manhunter, he would have just passed through that shit without ripping that bomb open.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking, too. So I'm like, that's the only thing. But, like, the eyes, just the look, he is Martian Manhunter, and just by looks.
Probably. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very curious. Ever since I found out that he was going to be on the show, that there was a Hank Henshaw on the show, I was so curious to know what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And, like, how they were going to introduce that. And to be honest, that's another thing about Supergirl that I actually like. They're using a lot of characters that haven't really been used on TV before, like Hank Henshaw. You got Maxwell Lord. You got
I
a
love
live
Maxwell
action.
Lord.
Yeah, I love his character, especially after this last episode.
Well, since we also know we're not going to get Blue Beetle on the TV shows, we're going to get him in the movies.
All right.
I was kind of bummed, though, because I want Blue Beetle to get there so Maxwell Lord can shoot him in the face and then Batman can go back in time. Damn it. It's getting all confusing.
But, yeah, you finally got a live action Maxwell Lord.
I want a Metallo.
Yeah, I would love to see if they actually do a Metallo. I know Red Tornado is coming.
Yeah, he appeared in the next week's episode preview. They showed Red Tornado, and then he goes crazy, and they're blaming her for it.
Yeah, so that should be interesting. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you finally had a live action Live Wire.
Yeah. And I wish they would have done more with her.
I do too.
They just made her like a crybaby little bitch, like for like 20 minutes of the episode, and then I'm like,
exactly.
That's it? Cat Grant is gonna beat that bitch? Come on.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I hope they do something kind of similar to what Flash did. Like everybody that they caught, just get released 3 episodes before the season finale.
Y'all start over. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna end it right on there, guys. So, it's been awesome having Anthony on the podcast.
Yes, it's been awesome to do it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I think this has been my very first full-blown podcast.
There you go. It's all right. Hey, John Knight. It was his first 2. Don't worry.
Oh, nice.
The night. So, but guys, this has been an awesome podcast. Like I said, Anthony's information will be down in the description down below. Take part in his Versus Challenge. Take part, guys. Participate. Cast your votes. And I'm also still taking votes for my Nerds Ranked episode. I pushed it for a couple weeks because I got so many comments about the best Star Wars movie. So I will be doing that one probably after Thanksgiving, after the holiday weekend, because I'm busy as hell. But guys,
it's definitely a busy next couple of days.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
But guys, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Nerd Logic Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Later on.
Yes. Later, y'all.
If you liked the video you just saw, make sure you rate it with that big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you can check out all the other nerdy videos we have just like this one.